Hello everyone, a very good morning to all of you. Welcome to the Office's Adda 24/7, the special session of your BRBL subject in the English medium language. As you know that we are doing the definition terms of the various act, that there are total 25 act in your syllabus, okay? So that's why you have to focus on the definition portion of each act because this is important, okay? If I say you that in module D and module C, these two acts are the, you can say, you can easily, crack the exam of CAIIB of BRBL subject if you just read these two modules. So that's why first of all we are just focusing on the definition terms of module D and module C, and then only we will do the module B and A. Okay, so right now we are doing the module C because we have just completed the definition portion of module D. Okay, so again I'm saying class, this is the Power Pack revision batch of English medium and bilingual. If you want a last revision, so you can please enroll in this batch, or either you can also take it as a separately. Okay, you can also take as a separately. Suppose if you want, if you see that your BFM subject is weak, so you can just enroll in the BFM subject. Okay, so this is all for this one. So now let's start with the definition terms. A very good morning, Shiva sir. See class, today we are going to start the definition of Recovery of Debt and Bankruptcy Act 1993. Again, this is important. Okay, so basically in this act what we have read, in this act we have read that for the recovery of debt there is DRT and there is DRAT. Both are very much important. Okay, now let's see. First of all, what is appellant tribunal? As we know that class, in this act there is DRT and there is DRAT. So what is DRAT? So DRAT is basically the appellant tribunal. See, appellant tribunal means which is mentioned in clause 1 of section 8. No need to refer the section 8, only understand that appellant is basically the DRAT. That's it. Okay, now what included in the definition of bank class? So the bank means a banking company, corresponding new bank, State Bank of India, subsidiary bank, and RRB bank. This is very important. In the definition of bank, RRB is also included in the DRT Act. Each points are important, okay? So that's why our target will be to complete the definition portion within this May session, so that in the June we will just do the questions and answers. Okay, now what is chairperson? Chairperson means, okay, basically in DRAT, okay, in DRAT class, there is the head of DRAT is chairperson. So this is called chairperson. And in DRT, presiding officer will be the head. In India, there are total 39 DRT and 5 DRAT. So in DRAT, chairperson will be the head, and in DRT, the presiding officer will be the head. That is so simple. Done? Okay. What is debt? Because this act is basically deal with the how to recover the debt. So debt means that any liability which is claimed as due from any person by the bank and financial institution or consortium of bank and financial institution. We know that the money is always given by the bank and the financial institution. So debt means these personalities have given the debt to the borrower. Now the borrower is demanding, now the borrower have to give money to the bank and financial institution. So this is called class debt. Okay. See what is given here. During the course of any business activity undertaken by bank and financial institution or the consortium under any law for the time being in force in the cash and reserves, etc. This is not so important. The important thing is that what is debt? That is so simple that the borrower have to give the money to the bank and financial institution. That is called debt. Okay, a very simple definition. Now class, what is financial institution? See, we know that we just beg the thing from the financial institution also. So financial institution is basically public financial institution within the Company Act and other institution as the central government may decide. So two things are there. Public financial institution, okay, and other institution which central government may Okay, decide. That's it. Central government may decide. Done, class? Now next. Who is presiding officer? Who is presiding officer, class? So presiding officer is again very simple term. See, presiding officer, I have already told you in DRT there must be presiding officer. Okay, presiding officer of the DRT, that is Debt Recovery Tribunal. See, who is recovery officer? See, class, recovery officer is always there in the DRT, not in DRAT. So recovery officer means the recovery officer appointed by the central government in each tribunal. So tribunal is basically DRT. So in each DRT there should be presiding officer and there should be the recovery officer. The both work, the work of presiding officer and the recovery officer is different. See. What is regional rural bank? Regional rural bank means a RRB that is established under section 3 of the RRB Act. That's it. So it means there is a no complete definition of RRB. Okay, there is a no complete definition. So basically, simply, RRB is defined. Okay, now what is tribunal? That is DRT. Simple. That is called tribunal. Okay, that's it, class. So we have done the important terms of your DRT Act. Okay, so DRT Act, if we conclude this act, so this is basically, okay, DRT Act is basically to how to recover the debt without going to the court. Suppose if we go to the court, so the court will take so much time, so much procedure we have to follow. But if we just focus on the tribunal, so the tribunal is made for the particular field. So DRT is made for the particular debt recovery. And there are so many tribunal in India, just like your NGT, National Green Tribunal, whose main work is to see the cases of environment, NCLT, whose main work is to see the matter of company, and DRT to recover the debt. So this is called DRT. Okay, that's cool. Now class, the module B, that is Negotiable Instrument Act. What exactly this Negotiable Instrument Act means? See, negotiable is basically, it means transfer, right? Negotiable means basically transfer, and instrument is basically the document. Okay, transfer, and this is document. So how the document can be transferred from one person to another person? Okay, and suppose a person have to give 1 crore rupees cash to the another person, but that is not possible to just take all the cash and give it to the other person. So that's why we need a document. So through documents we can easily transfer our money from one person to another person. So this is the basic, crux of the term negotiable instrument. And negotiable instrument is, the exact definition of negotiable instrument is not defined. The exact definition of negotiable instrument is not defined. Okay, so only thing that is given here is basically promissory note, bill of exchange, and your promissory note, bill of exchange, and basically your check. So only 3 things are there in this one. Okay, 3 things are there in this thing. Done. So I think this term is clear to all of you. Now let's move toward this one. What is promissory note? Promissory note is basically, it is an instrument in writing, as we know that. Okay, containing an unconditional undertaking signed by the maker to pay certain sum of money. Okay, to pay certain sum of money only to or order of a certain person. See class, what is order? Order means in which the specific person name is there, right? And bearer means in which the name is not given. The name is not given. And what is the crux thing? Not being a bank note or a currency note. So this is your key point. This is your key point. Done? Now, what is bill of exchange? So bill of exchange is basically, it is an instrument in writing containing an unconditional order signed by the maker. C class. In promissory note now, so the debtor have to make the instrument, but in bill of exchange, the creditor have to make the bill of exchange. So this is the key point that you have to remember. Okay, creditor have to make this bill of exchange, and in a bill of exchange there is three parties. In bill of exchange there is three party. In promissory note there are two parties. In promissory note, maker, drawer is same person and payee, and in bill of exchange it's a maker, drawer, payee and your drawee. That's it. So three persons are there in the bill of exchange. Got it? Next, what is check? Check is also a kind of negotiable instrument. So it is drawn on specified banker, not expressed to be payable otherwise than on demand. It includes the electronic image of truncated check and the check in the electronic form also. C class, as we know that if we see the check, definition of check, right? So check is basically what? Check is basically, you can say that check is anything in which we can just transfer the money from one person to another person. But right now, suppose if we just give the check to the bank, so the bank will give money to the another person to whom the check is drawn. But we can also transfer the check in the electronic image from one person to another person. That is called truncated check. So in right now, when the IT Act come into picture, so truncated check also, just used by the people. Okay, truncated check also used by the people. Okay, now the next thing is, what is holder? Holder is basically, I'm just giving you the one example, then we go through the definition. Holder is basically, suppose if we give check to the X person, okay, as a gift, check of 1 lakh rupees as a gift. Now the check is bounced. So in that case, X cannot file the case. X cannot class file the case. So holder of promissory note, bill of exchange, check means any person entitled in his own name to the possession and to receive and recover the amount due from the parties thereto. Where note, bill, check is lost, destroy, its holder is the person so entitled at the time of such loss. It means holder means the person who have taken this document, that person is liable. That person is entitled the amount. So holder is basically that thing. Okay. Next one is, what is holder in due course? Again, I'm giving you one example. C for course and C for consideration. Suppose I'm just working in X company. X company have given me the check of 1 lakh rupees. In that case, check given me the 1 lakh rupees check. So in that case, class, what will happen? Suppose if the check will bounce now, so I have a right to file the case on the company. This is called holder in due course. This is called class holder in due course. So it means any person who for consideration become the possessor of the promissory note, bill of exchange, check if payable to the bearer, payee or indorsee, etc. Okay. What is payment in due course? Again, important class. Payment in due course means, suppose X person have taken any check or any promissory note, whatever, and in the good faith, he is, suppose if taking money in the good faith without any negligence, so that person is not liable. That person is clause not liable, because in payment in due course, I have given you the very famous case in which the wife of a manager just take the check from the drawer. In the check, the name was not written. So the wife just write down her name. Okay, because the check was already signed, already the amount is written. So in that case, if the wife is going to the bank for cash, so in that case, the wife is not liable. Why class? Because the wife is doing thing in the good faith and without any negligence. So that's why. So this is the right answer. Okay, 10th one, this is the right answer. Okay, next, what is inland instrument? Inland instrument is basically that is made, drawn, and made payable in India. That is called inland instrument. The promissory note, bill of exchange, check, drawn, made and made payable and drawn upon any person that is resident in India. Resident in India class. This is your inland instrument. What is foreign instrument? Any such instrument not so drawn, made or made payable shall be deemed to be the foreign instrument. That is made outside the India. That is made outside India, that is called foreign instrument. See? Okay class, made outside India. What is negotiable instrument? Promissory note, bill of exchange, check, payable either to the order or the bearer. It means class, the exact definition of negotiable instrument is not given. The negotiable instrument includes these things. Includes these things. That's it. Okay, includes these things. Now, what is negotiation? Negotiation is basically, see, when the promissory note, bill of exchange, check is transferred to any person so as to constitute that person the holder. Negotiation means simply transferred. One word you have to remember. What is negotiation? That is transfer. Now this definition is important. What is endorsement? So endorsement is basically, suppose in a paper, if we just sign in the paper now, that is called the document is endorsed. Now see, when the maker, holder, okay, sign the same, otherwise then such a banker, for the purpose of negotiation on the back or face or a slip of paper annexed. Suppose in that document there is a no place of sign. Okay, if we will sign, it is called endorse. But suppose if there is a no space, so then we can annex the one paper in this instrument. So that annexed paper in which we have signed, that is also called the endorsement. This is also called class endorsement. See, so sign, same purpose, stamp paper, etc. That is called endorsement. Okay class, this is called endorsement. Now the last word, that is the important. The last word is class the important. What is this? This is dishonor of check. Section 138 is important. Dishonor of check is basically for insufficiency fund in the account. Okay, dishonor of check in which insufficiency of fund in the account. Simply where any check is drawn. What is this? Where any check is drawn by a person on the account maintained by him with a banker for the payment of any amount of money to the another person from out of that account for the discharge in the whole or in part any debt or liability is returned by the bank unpaid. What is this? Returned by the bank unpaid. Why? Because it may be possible that the money is insufficient, okay, or it's exceed the amount. We have just written the amount which is exceed from the account holder. So in that case, the check will be bounced. So you can say that the check is dishonor. Okay, the check is dishonor class. That's it. And what is the punishment for this? Punishment is 2 years and fine. Or fine. Or means either you have to give fine or punishment. And punishment is fine, which is extend to twice the amount of check. Again class, this point is important. This point is class important, that suppose whatever the thing is written in the check now, so in the punishment you have to give twice the amount of the check as a fine, or either 2-year punishment. Okay class, so this is all for today's class. That's all. We have completed 2 acts. So again I am saying this is your Power Pack revision batch. Apply the coupon code, that is Y391, for the maximum discount up to 78%. So now we will meet you tomorrow with the same timing with some more definition terms of the different acts. So my target is at 31st of May, we will just finish our syllabus so that we can focus on the question series. Thank you.